Morning or afternoon or evening, depending on when you are in the world. Thank you very much for joining us today for this exciting edition for the EORE Hour. My name is Lubna Allam, the new Secretariat of the EORE Advisory Group as of September 2024, stepping into the role after my dear colleague Faustine Auger, to whom I'd like to extend a huge thank you for her incredible work for the past 2 years. On behalf of the advisory group, it's a pleasure to welcome you all here today. For those who are joining us for the first time, the EORE Hour is an initiative launched by the EORE Advisory Group in late 2021. These monthly webinars are held every last Wednesday of every month, featuring volunteer hosts who are experts and professionals in the EORE domain and who present a variety of topics related to EORE. To date, we've hosted 8 webinars between 2021 and 2023, with our most recent webinar that was organized last November by Catholic Relief Services Vietnam. If you've missed any of the past webinars, don't worry, you can watch them on the EORE Advisory Group YouTube channel. And later I'm going to share with you in the chat all the relevant links. I'm happy that today's session is brought to you by Norwegian People's Aid, Bosnia and Herzegovina. And I'm thrilled to introduce our speaker, Selma Antek. So we'll discuss with us today integrating EORE with land release, best practices and best strategies. This presentation will dive into the vital integration of EORE and land release processes, aiming to enhance community safety and also operational efficiency in mine action. We hope that today's discussion is going to spark new ideas and also make you think about new entry points for collaboration as we explore these topics together. So just before we speak, I'd like to tell you some housekeeping notes. So today's webinar will run for an hour, followed by a 15-minute networking session. This will be a valuable opportunity to connect with professionals from around the globe dedicated to risk education. And we hope that you will stay and join us for this interactive part. Please, I kindly ask you to keep your microphones muted during the presentation. As for the Q&A, I kindly ask you to submit on the chat throughout the session any questions that might come up. I will collect all these questions and send them to Salma. And at the end of her presentation, she's going to address the questions. If there are some questions that we don't have the time to address, we are going to answer them, or Selma is going to answer them in a document, and we are going to send it to the mailing list of the webinar attendees, along with the recording of the presentation. As for previous webinars, today's session is recorded except for the networking segment. And it will be later available in the EORE Advisory Group YouTube channel, and I'll share with you the link later. So thank you very much, and without further ado, I'm delighted to hand over to Selma. Selma, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Lubna. Thank you very much. So, good morning, afternoon, everyone. It's a real pleasure to welcome you all today on this webinar. My name is Selma Antic, and I'm representing Norwegian People's Aid in Bosnia and Herzegovina. I'm thrilled to have the opportunity to discuss such significant topic, the integration of explosive ordnance risk education with the land release process. Our session will focus on sharing invaluable insights, exchanging experiences, and discussing the best practices aimed at improving both community safety and the overall effectiveness of mine action operations. By addressing these interconnected elements, we hope to highlight innovative approaches and strategies that not only reduce the risk posed to affected communities, but also streamline operational activities to achieve better outcomes. I'm really excited to engage with each of you and learn from your own perspective, as together we are working towards safer and more resilient environments. So thank you for taking the time to be here today, and without further ado, let's begin. So allow me to share my screen for the start. Okay. So since today the content of my presentation of this webinar is to introduce you with Norwegian People's Aid in general, and also to give you an overview of the history of conflict in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Then we will delve into EORE needs assessment and how MPA is conducting needs assessment in Bosnia and Herzegovina, with the main focus on integration of EORE with land release activities. And the final session will include Q&A, and I will be happy to answer on all of your questions, of course. So little bit about MPAs in mine action. Since our first demining operations in Cambodia back in 1992, MPA has evolved into a leading organization committed to addressing the full life cycle of weapons and ammunition, protecting civilians before, during, and after the conflict. Over the past 3 decades, MPA has successfully removed more than 2 million anti-personnel landmines and other explosive remnants of wars across 40 countries, releasing more than 1 billion square meters of land for productive use. As we all know, clearance of landmines and other explosive remnants of war from former battlefield is a very slow and resource-intensive process, often taking years, if not decades. So during this time, it is imperative that we ensure the safety of the affected communities. That's where our EORE initiatives come into play. By engaging directly with those exposed to explosive hazards, we aim to equip local communities with the knowledge and skills they need to identify, avoid, and report these threats. In addition to our clearance operations, MPA actively advocates for international treaties such as Anti-Personnel Mine Ban Treaty and the Convention on the Cluster Munition. We believe that by fostering a strong civil society and engaging with local population, we can mitigate the risk posed by explosive remnants and support communities in their recovery and development. So today we will delve into deeper insights of MPA's efforts to discuss how EORE and demining operations work hand in hand to create safer environment for all. So thank you for all to joining us, and I look forward to an engaging and informative session. So a little bit about the history of war in Bosnia and Herzegovina. So the conflict that followed the breakup of former Yugoslavia stands as the most devastating conflict in Europe since the World War II. So by the time peace was established in December 1995, Bosnia and Herzegovina had paid a heavy toll. Approximately 100,000 lives lost, 2.1 million people displaced, and vast areas left contaminated by landmines and other explosive remnants of war. So nearly 3 decades, the impact of this contamination is still deeply felt. Bosnia and Herzegovina continues to struggle with its legacy of landmines and other explosive remnants, which pose significant threat to the safety and livelihoods of communities. So from 1996 to 2023, over 1,781 people have fallen victim to these explosive devices, with 624 fatalities, including 251 children. So these numbers are a stark reminder that the threat is far from over. So today, an estimated 800 square kilometers of suspected and confirmed hazardous area remain to be addressed, which continues to hinder safe return and reconstruction of infrastructure in the country. So this danger not only impedes development, but also prevents communities from using their land safely, impacting both socio-economic recovery and community resilience as well. Our discussion today will delve into how explosive ordnance risk education can be effectively integrated with the broader mine action strategies, such as land release processes, and how to address the challenges. So together we can explore some lessons learned and, of course, share best practices and look to innovative approaches to ensure the safety and the well-being of communities who are at risk. So for the purpose of this webinar today, I have prepared a short video where you can follow the, let's say, steps of EORE team in the region where mine contamination continue to pose a serious threat to the local population. The team's focus is on accurately identifying the most vulnerable communities and ensuring that the risk education reaches those who need it at most. By doing so, we not only raise awareness, but also actively work to prevent incidents and promote safer behavior in this mine-suspected area. So the video highlights how we integrate EORE into broader land release. It's not just about informing local population about the danger of these devices, but also about making them active participants in releasing the land. Through combining education with practical demining efforts, we aim to transform hazardous area into safe communities, empowering communities to once again use their land confidentially and safely. So as a part of MPA continuous efforts to enhance EORE's impact, we conduct regular needs assessment. One critical finding that I would like to share is that the community engagement goes far beyond simply delivering safety messages. We have identified that lack of trust and limited awareness of localized threats are two, let's say, main barriers preventing at-risk population from taking appropriate protective measures. So this is why integrating EORE with land release is not merely a task of information dissemination. It's about building the trust, understanding local behaviors, and tailoring interventions to address the unique needs of each target groups or each community. So addressing these challenges is essential for maximizing the effectiveness of our risk education and enhancing the overall impact of mine action programs. And to illustrate how we approach these issues on the ground, I have prepared, let's say, 4-minute video. It will demonstrate how we enter high-risk areas for the first time, how we are establishing contact with the local residents, and how we identify target groups by understanding their behaviors and their daily practices. So the initial engagement is very important to gain community trust and ensure that our interventions are both, let's say, relevant and impactful. So by adopting a people-centered approach, we can support that those mine affected and are reached and to help mitigate the risk they face, let's say, in their everyday lives. So allow me to start with this video. In this video, we can see an urban area characterized by numerous buildings. Approximately 15 kilometers from the city center, we reach the outskirts that extends towards the slope of Mount of Vlašić in Travnik. So pasture is highly developed in this region. There are many shepherds with their livestock, and the area is well known for its production of dairy products. So we decided to spend a day with the family engaged in sheep farming here in Vlašić. So the family you see in the video owns over 1,500 head of livestock, and they walk freely across this area. The traditional way of life is not only their livelihood, but they also contribute to the preserving the region's cultural heritage. The second shepherd we encountered during our survey also shared valuable information with us regarding areas suspected to be contaminated with mines, which he never allows his livestock to graze. The man in this video is a former war participant, and his extensive knowledge of confrontation lines and trenches location proved crucial for our operational planning and, of course, for some, let's say, important decision-making in the operation process. So here we can see woodcutters are commonly seen in the area. They are coming from the villages located at the base of the Mount of Vlašić. Unfortunately, the challenging socioeconomic conditions in the country have pushed them to venture into mine-suspected area. Most of the time, they are aware of mine working signs. But this is something that is common in Bosnia and Herzegovina. People are forced to enter mine-suspected area despite the warning signs because they don't have any incomes or they need some firewood for the winter. So we came across also families with young children. They tend to limit their, let's say, movements to certain areas as they are aware the landmines are present somewhere, but they are not uncertain of the exact location. This uncertainty forces them to stay within, let's say, perceived safe zones, which restricts their daily activities and poses a constant threat to their safety. What is even more concerning is that the children in schools have not received any formal risk education, despite the fact that ministries incorporated risk education into the national curriculum. So here we entered the village and started going from house to house to speak with the residents. We predominantly spoke with the men who were eager to discuss the issue of mines, while the women were a little bit quieter on this topic. And with this target group, we have reached at the end of this video, hikers. One day was dedicated to the local hiking association, where we joined them along a popular route frequently used by tourists. Our goal was to precisely determine the path they follow, assess whether it was safe or it was risky. And it was a fascinating group consisting of hikers from across the former Yugoslavia. The trail was approximately 9 kilometers long, and even EORE team find it quite exhausting, to be honest. So the hikers were completely unaware of the mine threat of Mount Vlašić because no one from the local tourism board had informed them on the potential danger. So that concludes everything related to the video. I just wanted to provide you with a closer look into how we conduct our needs assessment, which is a crucial component in the planning, identification, and the future implementation of our EORE activities. Effective needs assessment is at the heart of our strategy. So it allows us to accurately identify vulnerable groups, understand community dynamics, tailor our interventions to address the specific risk present in the area. This approach ensures that our EORE is not only well targeted, but also sustainable and impactful in, let's say, in a long run. So by truly analyzing the needs on the ground, we can make informed decisions, allocate resources, and enhance the safety and resilience of communities living in or in the vicinity of mine suspected areas. So just to continue with my presentation, my apologies for this. The next thing is, sorry, I have to go from the beginning. The next thing is the integration of EORE into land release process, and efficient EORE is possible when it's integrated with land release on the best possible way. For example, our objective was to minimize the risk of injury from explosive of ordnance in affected communities, but also it was not just a target, it was imperative for us. Every day people are at risk from unexploded ordnance and explosive ordnance, and we must take some, let's say, serious actions to protect them. In this way, EORE. So to achieve this objective, our approach is straightforward but very impactful. We need to enhance the awareness, and of course to promote behavior change through our interventions by educating communities about the danger of explosive ordnance and encouraging safe behaviors. We can significantly reduce the risk of accidents and injuries. Awareness is the first step towards empowerment, and it is essential that we all play our part in this sector. Now let's discuss the importance of our efforts. So demonstrating effective outcomes is vital for maintaining the value and relevance of the Mine Action Center. We cannot afford to be complacent. We must continuously evaluate and improve our methods to ensure they are effective and with, let's say, results. Our credibility relies on our ability to show results and make a real difference in the lives of those who we serve. As for our ongoing efforts, so we are making significant investments in the review, assessments, and adaptation of EORE methodologies. Currently, MPA is taking the, let's say, leader role together with National Mine Action Authority in developing of new national mine action strategy, including EORE standards and SOPs as well. So finally, let's address the desired outcome of our initiative. We are transitioning from EORE implementation to ensuring effective prioritization of EORE initiatives. This shift signifies a deeper commitment to not only carrying out EORE activities, but also ensuring that these initiatives are prioritized and aligned with the actual needs and risk faced by communities. So on this slide also, I have included several examples. So community engagement is at the heart of our approach, community liaison. For example, EORE actively involves local communities in the land release process, fostering a sense of ownership and responsibility. When communities become partners in identifying and addressing explosive risks, we create a collaborative effort towards achieving safer environments. This involvement not only that enhances safety, but also strengthens, let's say, community bonds. Another essential aspect of EORE is behavioral change. We focus on changing behaviors by installing sense of caution and promoting safe practices among individuals. Through educational activities, communities develop a proactive approach to avoiding hazardous area. This behavioral shift significantly contributes to overall risk reduction and enhance community resilience. So, moreover, EORE is seamlessly integrated with technical processes. It complements the work of the mining teams by aligning educational efforts with identification and clearance of hazardous area. These, let's say, comprehensive approach ensures that safety and education and technical operations work actually hand in hand, maximizing the effectiveness of land release efforts. So continuous learning and adaptation are also integral to our methodology. EORE activities evolve based on community feedback and changing circumstances, ensuring their relevance and effectiveness. By embracing continuous learning, we can enhance our, let's say, educational strategies to address some challenges in land release process, making our efforts more impactful. We are also place great importance on measuring the impact. The effectiveness of EORE is assessed through community adherence to safety practices, increased reporting of potential hazards, and a noticeable reduction in accidents. Regular evaluations are also essential to ensure that our educational activities align with the goals of efficient land release and community safety as well. So finally, EORE empowers communities for sustainable impact by establishing foundation for sustained safety practices. As we said, we empower communities to maintain safe and practice safe behavior even after land release operations are completed. The education provided through EORE become, let's say, a lasting tool, enabling communities to navigate their surrounding safely and responsibly as well. Here at this slide, you can see the current situation regarding mine-affected areas in Bosnia and Herzegovina. We note that the total extent of these mine-affected areas, which is the name of the tasks in Bosnia and Herzegovina, is estimated to be around 800 square kilometers. So these MSA tasks are primarily located in rural regions in the country, which are often quite complex in terms of mine situation and very challenging due to access to these very far and distant location. So in recent years, there has been a noticeable trend of people also migrating from these unfortunately mine-suspected areas to urban centers or even to leaving the country. This migration is driven by various factors, including safety concerns, economic concerns, opportunities, political situation in the country, and the, of course, ongoing impact of landmines on their land. So, despite the limited capacity for EORE in the country, there is some positive news. The number of casualties from explosive ordnance has been steadily decreasing year by year. However, it is crucial to highlight that the persistent threat posed by from landmine, anti-personnel type of landmines, continue to claim innocent lives in the country, underscoring the urgent need for, let's say, sustained efforts in mine clearance and community education. So as we move forward, it's essential to enhance EORE initiatives and address these challenges posed by hazardous area in the country. So we are moving to the next slide regarding EORE implementation. So EORE also is effectively integrated here in MPA program with land release through synergy approach that combines community education, clearance, technical survey, cancellation, and many other components of mine action, of course, including engagement of local informants regarding the presence of landmines and other associated risk with explosive ordnance. So this process facilitates the exchange of crucial information between communities and local informants, raising awareness and empowering individuals to make informed decisions and adopt safe behavior. By engaging with the local communities, we equip them with the knowledge needed to recognize hazard and to understand the importance of reporting any suspicious findings. This collaborative effort fosters a proactive network of informed individuals and local informants who work together to enhance safety and mitigate the risk in their communities. So this is the way how MPA works in, let's say, some specific affected community. MPA EORE team plays a crucial role in ongoing effort to enhance safety in Bosnia and Herzegovina by gathering new or, let's say, some additional information about the presence of landmine during regular field activities. So as a part of EORE, the team actively engaged with local communities and stakeholders to collect relevant data regarding suspected landmine locations. This may involve conducting, let's say, different kind of tools, for example, interviews, facilitating discussions, some gathering reports from community members who may have encountered unexpected explosive ordnance or have some knowledge about the hazard in the area. So this information gathering process is very important for MPA, underscoring the scope and specific location of contamination. So the information collected by EORE team is very important and strengthening the land release by continuously updating and refining the database of known landmine locations. The MPA ensures that clearance operations are informed by the latest intelligence, and this dynamic approach allows for more targeted response to the problem of landmines as it focuses resources and efforts where they are, let's say, where they are most needed, for example. So here on this slide, you can see the map of the northeast part of Bosnia and Herzegovina. It is Majevica region. I use this map for this webinar to explain you the mine situation in this part of the country of Bosnia and Herzegovina. So on this slide, we can observe a map, mountainous region in northeastern part of the country, and the area comprises of 5 municipalities. These 5 municipalities are located along the inter-entity line between Federation of Bosnia and Herzegovina and Republika Srpska. So the mine suspected area is covering more than 25 square kilometers in total, and it represents, let's say, unique case in the country. What makes this situation noteworthy is the collaborative effort among local authorities, among local leaders and politicians, like mayors of the municipalities, who have discussed the development of this rich tourist region. They have identified demining as their foremost priority due to the complex landmine situation in the area, which poses considerable challenges that must be addressed in order to facilitate the tourism recovery of this part of the country. In my years working in mine action, this is the only example I have encountered in where political divisions and the scars of the war have been set aside in favor of collective vision for a healthier and safer future of the local population in this region. It is truly inspiring to witness such proactive engagement of these people who are living here and overcoming the legacy of conflict. And I believe it can serve as a model for many others areas seeking to rebuild and finally be clear of mines, definitely. So in this part of the country, MPA does not operate in isolation, but collaborates closely with its partner organization, Mines Advisory Group, MAG, Bosnia and Herzegovina. Together, they engage in EORE and community liaison activities and as integral components of the land release processes. So this collaborative effort is made possible through the funding from Germany, German Federal Foreign Office, actually, which supports this initiative in enhancing community safety and fostering sustainable development in the region. Through this partnership, MPA and MAG together work in synergy to ensure that the local communities are, let's say, not only educated about the risk associated with explosive ordnance, but also actively involved in identification and reporting of potential hazard. This approach not only enhances the effectiveness, but also empowers communities to take, as we said, ownership of their safety and their future. So in this slide, we have collaborated with National Mine Action Authority, Mine Action Center, Bosnia and Herzegovina. So together with them, we have conducted EORE for schools, both in Federation and in Republika Srpska. We, let's say, conducted foundational educational sessions for the children in two distinct groups, grades 1 to 5 and 6 to 9, in partnership with relevant ministries. Alongside these sessions, we implemented pre and post tests for the students to assess their understanding of mine risk. The content of these pre and post tests were, let's say, tailored to suit the children's age and development stages, incorporating fundamental elements related to mine and related to landmine and explosive ordnance, marking that the children may encounter during their, let's say, school trip or some other activity. So additionally, we use various type of video materials, including animated films that address mine awareness, as well as the danger associated with weapons that residents often keep illegally in their homes. So the pre and post tests were formulated clearly, precisely, and concisely in cooperation with the relevant ministries, and they contain like a few questions between 10 to 5. These assessments allowed us to be familiar with children's prior knowledge of the mine threat in their area before EORE session, and to measure how much they absorbed from educational session and animated movies they viewed. So students of the primary school truly enjoyed the EORE session, during which they gained crucial knowledge to improve their safety in mine-affected community. This interactive session was designed to be both informative and enjoyable, fostering an environment where the students could learn effectively about the dangers associated with the explosive ordnance. Through combination of dynamic presentations, engaging discussions, and hands-on activities, these children were not only educated about the risk posed by landmines, but also empowered to adopt safe behaviors in their daily life. EORE session equipped the students with vital skills such as recognizing hazardous signs and understanding how to report any suspicious findings. By installing this sense of responsibility and awareness, these activities aim to enhance the children's confidence as they navigate through their, let's say, communities. So, as we know, the effectiveness of EORE relies heavily on understanding the specific risks that individuals face in their daily lives, particularly in mine-affected communities. So to this end, we implementing a robust data gathering strategy that combines different type of technologies to enhance our, let's say, outreach and impact as well. We have chosen to use Survey 123 application. This tool allows us to collect and analyze data efficiently. The platform is seamlessly integrated with the ArcGIS software, enabling us to create detailed maps that visualize the locations of mine contamination. So the approach is not only about data collection, is about fostering a sense of the community involvement and the responsibility. So we encourage target groups, local residents, schools, school children, community leaders to freely and responsibly share the information regarding any signs of mine contamination in their communities. So in our latest initiative, we have successfully expanded our EORE efforts across a wide network of schools and communities. Our coverage includes 35 schools located in 5 municipalities, where we have engaged a total of more than 1,500 school children in educational sessions. To ensure sustainability of our efforts, we have trained 55 teachers, equipping them with necessary tools and skills, and of course, knowledge to effectively deliver risk education to their students. So this approach not only enhances the immediate learning experience for the children, but also empowers teachers to continue promoting safety awareness long after the initial training sessions. So the commitment to community engagement has also had significant results. We have educated more than 3,789 individuals about the ongoing threat. Also, through targeted outreach and informative sessions, we have fostered a culture of awareness in these communities, and our media outreach has extended our message far beyond the classroom. We have reached an impressive audience, around 35,000 people through various public media stations. This extensive media coverage has played a crucial role in raising awareness about the risk associated with explosive ordnance and the importance of community involvement in these kind of initiatives. So in overall, these achievements highlight our dedication to enhancing safety and preparedness in mine-affected areas. So by engaging schools, training teachers, raising community awareness, and media platforms, we are making significant strides even today towards creating safe environment for everyone. A little bit about how we measure how effective we were. So to measure the effectiveness of our educational activities, we conducted assessment both before and after the activities. So this approach allowed us to gather valuable data regarding the impact of our sessions on children's knowledge and behavior related to explosive ordnance risks. So pre and post tests were designed to assess baseline knowledge and also knowledge after the session. Following the completion of these EORE session, we conducted these tests. So these tests were essential in determining how well we succeeded in enhancing the children's understanding of explosive ordnance, and also how well we promoted safer behaviors. We aimed not only to inform, but also to empower the children. And the results from both assessments have proven to be invaluable. They have highlighted the progress made in understanding the threats posed by explosive ordnance and the positive behavioral changes that have emerged as a result of our targeted educational approach. So confidently, we can say that our EORE sessions have made a difference in their lives of these, let's say, young learners. So next slide is all about Survey 123 application, which is very easily in line with the geographic information system. So we recognize the importance of using this tool to better understand the needs of our community. So using Survey 123, we can efficiently gather information from different type of groups, including women, girls, boys, men, and also people with disabilities. So this application help us to have data in real time, and also enables us to have some important decisions, not only for EORE, but for the whole operational sector. And also, I think this is the last slide. Once all data are collected through Survey 123, they are seamlessly integrated into ArcGIS software, providing some platform for more analyzing and visualization of data. So we can create detailed maps and visualize the information by different target groups. We may discover these areas with a higher population of women or individuals with disabilities or target groups that have a different level of awareness and different kind of things. Also, it is used on daily basis for the reporting. I can see some questions. Sorry, but we can talk about these questions later, of course. And for the closing of this presentation for today, is essential to highlight that EORE with land release plays very important role in overall safety and well-being of the local communities. Through this use of tools like Survey 123 or ArcGIS software, we have enhanced our ability to gather and analyze segregated data. This definitely allows us to tailor our EORE efforts to meet the specific needs and different target groups. Focusing on these different perspectives, we are not just informing communities, we are actively engaging them in the process of land release. So our collaborative partnership, such as those with local organizations and community members, are very crucial for the land release process. And also the collaboration and cooperation with national mine action authorities, including the other relevant stakeholders and also donors, in this case, German Federal Foreign Office. So this would be all from my side for now. I can go through the questions. Lubna, can you help me now with this, please?
Yes, so I sent you now a message on the chat,
okay,
with all the questions. So we have 6 questions. If you want, you can stop sharing the screen. It will be easier to read the chat.
Okay.
And then if you click on chat down.
Just a second.
Yeah.
Because okay, I'm here. Yes.
Perfect.
So we have a lot of questions.
Indeed,
I was thinking
questions.
we are running out of time.
We can answer 1 or 2 questions, and the rest of the questions you can answer them together in a written form, and we send it to the attendees in a Word document accompanied by the recording of this webinar.
Yes, why not? Okay, perfect. I can give an answer to the first question, which one was thanks for the very informative presentation to enable the EORE team members to effectively contribute to land release activities. What specific trainings have you provided to them? It is a standardized training approved by National Mine Action Authority. Yes, it is standardized training in 3 levels, like one whole package contains of 3 levels: basic, basic one for managing of EORE activities and for internal quality control. but also all our staff went under the training organized by UNICEF and GICHD as well. So these are, let's say, minimum requirements for the integration of EORE here in MPA Bosnia and Herzegovina program. And the second question was, okay, on collaborative effort. Okay. So what type of method that we use to inform individuals and local informants to continue providing information? So we are using different type of, let's say, channels within affected community. The most influence people from that specific affected area, like politicians or local leaders or religious leaders or some representative from the municipal department. So with their assistance, we are able to animate and advocate for the information that we need in order to enable efficient and effective land release process. So we always have to have like strong advocacy for information exchange and feedback from the local community. How do you integrate NTS information to prioritize EORE activities? Well, it's a difficult system in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Based on national mine action standards, mandate for NTS holds National Mine Action Authority. So we have to work in their regional offices all over the country, always in order to exchange the information regarding the presence of landmines in some specific area. They are doing NTS, but not so efficient NTS. So in this case, we rely only on available minefield records, and that's it. And then additionally, we are going to some specific affected areas and conduct additional NTS based on these available minefield records in order to have everything in place. Can we get the animated EORE material to learn from it? Okay, well, this is something that has to be discussed with the National Mine Action Authority, because the material that MPA Bosnia-Herzegovina program is using currently is very outdated. And for the new ones, we need a donor. And this is something that MPA strives to have in the, let's say, close future. These outcomes, outreach, impact, where in which time frame? For example, pre and post tests, MPA in Bosnia-Herzegovina program is conducting, of course, before EORE sessions. Doesn't matter about which target group we are talking about. And in this case, for the purpose of this webinar today, I presented how we do it in the schools. So after these pre-tests, we conducted EORE sessions for the kids, for the children, pupils, for their teachers, and even for their parents. So teachers are trained and equipped to continue to retain this knowledge with the pupils. So in period 3 to 6 months, depends on the operational time frame, but in most cases, 3 to 6 months after EORE sessions, we are conducting these post tests for the same targeted group. How is the training you provide teacher? Is this part of EORE land release model? In Colombia, we have 3 different models and training teacher. Similar, as I mentioned, 3 different type of levels of EORE trainings. And based on, in Bosnia and Herzegovina, everything has to be in compliant with the ministries and their standards. So we are using the best possible practice from National Mine Action Authority and lessons learned from MPA. And then with ministries, we are providing training for the teachers. But it is almost everything already integrated into school curriculum. Like efficient, not basic EORE training, but like EORE, efficient EORE. Do you think it's important to have your technician? Yes. Yes, not only EOD level 1 technician in EORE team, but also staff members from EORE in Bosnia and Herzegovina, according to National Mine Action Standard, has to have basic demining course and at minimum EOD level 1 training. Lots of agencies use multitask teams that do this. The disadvantages is not item reported. DoD technicians is left doing nothing. The important, though, that the EORE team are well trained. Yes, that is the most important, that EORE team are well trained on EO recognition. That's the reason why it's requirement for MPA-BH programs to have EOD level 1 as a minimum and basic demining course. In Hello Laos, we give our EORE teams training on, okay, that's very good. So I'm not sure, Lubna, if you are following me. I'm not sure if I'm talking to myself or you can hear my answers.
No,
but
that's perfect.
It seems
Yes.
like I mostly answer all of these questions. If I miss something, please, because we are running out of time, we can have these questions and I can give my feedback later to send it to you, Lubna, and then you can provide the participants, attendees with these answers.
Perfect. And also, if any of the attendees, if any questions came up, they can send it to me by email. I put my email in the chat earlier. They are welcome to send me the questions, and I'm gonna send them to you, and then you can answer them, and then I can circulate them.
Sounds perfect. Thank you.
Sounds perfect. Selma, on behalf of the EORE Advisory Group, thank you very much for your presentation. You debriefed us on the work of Norwegian People's Aid in Bosnia and Herzegovina, their EORE approaches, how to enhance EORE impact and operational efficiency through the integration of land release and EORE. I believe that you raised important entry points and points that are important moving forward. I'd also like to thank Furat Al-Malakawi, the co-chair of the EORE Advisory Group, for her support in the execution of this webinar. And I'd like to thank all of you and express my gratitude to all the attendees today. And as we look ahead, I'm pleased to announce that the EORE Hour for the month of October would take place on the last Wednesday of October. I believe it's going to be the 30th of October. So please keep an eye out for the flyer and the information that we are going to circulate soon. I also would take the opportunity, since we have a plethora of professionals of EORE, we encourage you to host future EORE hours. The concept note is on the EORE Advisory Group webpage, and it contains all the relevant information on how to apply to host an EORE hour. And I shared the link earlier of the webpage. So now I'm going to stop recording, and we are going to transition to the second segment of our webinar, which is the networking circle. For the people who are attending for the first time, I want to tell you that the networking circle is an opportunity for EORE professionals and the attendees of this webinar to meet together in breakout rooms to discuss this question that we suggested, which could spark the information, and they can also move to other topics, exchange contacts, and this part is totally not recorded. So for those who would love to stay, please, I encourage you to stay and to join our networking part. If not, then no hard feelings. We'll see you next time. And this will be the chance for you to log out before we turn and allocate people in their breakout rooms. Once again, thank you again for your participation, and I hope you'll stay with us for this networking opportunity. If not, then see you next time. So for those who are sticking around with us, welcome to the networking circle. We've put a suggested question on the screen to help start the conversation, but there is no recap after this segment. You are free to carry the conversation as you wish. It's going to be from 10 to 12 minutes. After 12 minutes, I'll just send you a gentle nudge on the chat that the time is coming to an end. I'll not, of course, end or cut the conversation. You can continue your conversation, exchange contact, and wrap up at your own pace. And once you're done, please log out of the webinar. Again, thank you very much for joining us, and we hope that the discussion was insightful and engaging. And now I'll go ahead to sending you to your breakout rooms. Thank you very much for being part of the EORE Advisory Group Hour, and happy networking.